next 5 or 10 minutes, I suppose. Now, let's talk a little bit about Alex Osborne. You know Alex very well because she pops up all the time on BBC Radio Berkshire, one of our weather presenters. But if you just happen to be anywhere near Bracknell tonight, well, you might want to pop into town and see her in a brand new light because she's part of a steampunk orchestra. A what orchestra? It's all part of a UK tour. Alex can tell us more about it in a moment. In fact, she's going to tell us all about it now. Hello, welcome to BBC Radio Berkshire in a completely different light.
Morning, Vernon. Yes, this is completely... I normally have the 6:27 slots, don't we, doing the weather? This is like a different time zone.
Now, before we get on to what it is you're actually going to be doing tonight, can you just tell us what a steampunk orchestra is and what it does, and how is it different from any other sort of orchestra?
Well, it's completely different. I mean, honestly, Vernon and I have never done anything like this in my entire life and musical career. You know, I'm used to sort of playing in string quartets, classically trained, doing all the classics with other violinists. Never have I done anything like this. I mean, but essentially, this came about early in spring 2024 when I had a random Facebook message from someone called Joe Russell, who was looking for violinists to start a new music project. And Joe can tell you actually a bit more about the concept of steampunk, but essentially it's sort of an aesthetic built around Victorian era and costume. But what we do with the Steampunk Orchestra is to combine sort of covering classic rock and pop songs that you're likely to know, but with that steampunk aesthetic, and it creates this sort of really visual, completely different show and experience, probably like you've never seen before.
Right. So you mentioned costume, and it taps into the Victorian era in terms of costume and design and other things to do with steampunk. The whole idea of steam locomotives and those sort of water-driven, water-powered and steam-powered machinery. That's the sort of vibe we're talking about. So a bit nostalgic, really, but with a modern twist with the music.
Yeah, it's that. You know, the music that we play is, as I said, you'll pretty much recognise a lot of them. You know, the Smashing Pumpkins, Prince, Queen, The Killers, Coldplay, Fix You. You know, I've definitely got some favourites, and it's sort of like our own orchestral versions of that. We've now got around 7 or 8 of us in the core group, if you like, all pop and rock songs and really, classics and well known. It's something that you've probably never heard before, but also with familiar songs. If that makes sense. So it's like putting our unique spin on covers, and we add in the aesthetic, and we hope it makes this sort of amazing, visual, colourful experience like you've never seen before.
You describe it so brilliantly. Are you ever tempted, halfway through, to throw down your violin, leap up and say, it's going to be windy in Woodley and hot in Hungerford and snowing in Slough?
I've actually never once thought that, but to be honest, it is a bit bizarre when, at the end we all of us go out and meet the audience, and I get some funny looks. People can't quite believe. They're thinking, is that Alex? No, surely it's not. It can't be. It's so, this is the thing. Parallel worlds apart.
You're on BBC Radio Berkshire, but of course you're on TV screens really all over the country, so you're a very well-known face. How do you fit it in? Because this is part of a UK tour, so how does that fit in with your proper job?
It's busy, Vernon, not gonna lie. It's pretty mad at the moment. Essentially, it's a lot of logistics coordinating, glued to my diary, putting in the dates, and then liaising with Joe, who is amazing. I mean, I thought I was organised, Vernon, but Joe is on another level in terms of his level of detail. He's wonderful. Coordinating 7 or 8 of us around the UK in various venues. Looking at managing the ticket sales, travel, transport, timings. I mean, it's a huge amount of work, and he is brilliant at it. So with Joe's help, it's just about doable. But yeah, it's busy, Vernon, I'm not going to lie. But the combination of what I have to say is there's bizarrely some similarities between, live broadcasting and playing on stage, because ultimately if and things do go wrong in both jobs, there's no escape. You have to think on your feet. And so there's absolutely that buzz around it. And I must say that, playing on stage, whether it's that or live broadcasting, there's nothing like it. There's such a buzz.
Great.
And we'd love for you to come and see it. If you want to play some clips, you're welcome to, because it'll give the listeners an idea.
Yes. Now, we're going to speak to Joe and we're going to mention where you are in Bracknell tonight. But whilst we do that, I need you to go and get your violin, because I need a few bars before we finish. Okay? Deal?
All right. Yeah.
Deal? Okay, you rush off and get your violin. Let's speak to Joe, the project's founder, who's with us on the programme. Right, here's the question. She's gone off. She can't hear us. Joe, is she any good?
Maybe we can get her to practice a bit more. No, she is very good.
Just describe, I think we've made a sort of fair hash of it, really, but just describe steampunk for us. Is there an official definition?
To be honest, I think Alex was nailing it. I was sat here thinking, oh my gosh, she's taking all the talking points. What am I going to talk about? I describe it as very much 19th century aesthetics and technology kind of stuck in that era. So kind of if in the future it was that technology and it didn't go anywhere. So very retro futuristic take on if it was kind of stuck in the 19th century.
Have you got a waxed moustache that sticks out?
I don't, because I can't handle it. I can't handle the moustache, facial hair. But our guitar player Tom last year, he did have a bit of a long moustache, and he kind of waxed it. It was amazing. I need to try and convince him to do it again, actually.
And does anybody wear a top hat or a deer stalker?
Yeah, so pretty much all of us. So all the guys in the band, we've all got top hats. Jen, who's one of the violin players, got this tiny little mini top hat which goes on her hair, which is amazing. Alex, I can't remember what Alex has got this, I can't remember what they're called, fascinator, like a Victorian fascinator, which is amazing.
Like a little tiny hat, like a mini hat.
Yeah, exactly.
So where are you?
Really elegant.
We've been talking about Bracknell. Where are you tonight? What time? And where can we get the tickets? There'll be a queue now, won't there? You're going to have a full house after this.
Hopefully. So we're playing at the Acoustic Couch in Bracknell tonight, which is a community run venue. I believe that's in central Bracknell. Whilst I'm here, actually, I don't know whether or not anyone listening can help with this, but they are having issues with relocating because the council are making that area into flats. So they're having to relocate by the end of the year. So I know that it was in Parliament being discussed recently. So I don't know whether or not that's something that can sort of be helped by someone with BBC or someone listening.
Well, sounds like a news story for another day.
Exactly, yeah.
Tickets available, I guess, on the door, yeah?
There'll be tickets on the door or in advance.
And am I guessing, I'm going to guess 7:30?
I believe we're on stage at 7:30. No, 8:30, sorry. 8:30 on stage tomorrow.
A few pints of bill. Well, listen, I'm amazed by this. Joe, thank you so much. Good luck tonight. It's a great crowd in Bracknell, always is. Alex, I'm hoping he's back with a fiddle. Are you back?
Hi, Vernon. I mean, it will take me a bit of a while to set up the violin. I can't pick it up and
play a bit. Just play a bit.
Also, it's going to be much better for listeners if you give an idea of what we do together as the Steampunk Orchestra. I can play you, of course, a few notes, but it's not really going to paint what we do as steampunk.
I'm going to come back to you in a minute because you're not getting out of this. Nice try. Let's get the latest on the roads and the rain. Love it. Radio Berkshire. So, Alex, come on. All we need is just a couple of bars just to prove you're not telling us porky pies.
Vernon, my violin is in the other room and I'm listening to my laptop via my headphones. But you are welcome. Go to steampunkorchestra.com and there you have a selection of all of our best clips. So you're welcome to play that out for the listeners. They get a taster of what we do.
Honestly, what are you like? Listen, good luck tonight. It's been lovely. And you will get a full house tonight. I'm so impressed. Thanks, Alex. Take care.
Thanks, Vernon.
Bye. Have fun in Bracknell.
BBC Radio Berkshire. Lost in translation.